Most sales teams are losing deals not because their product is bad or their service is not up to the mark, but because they are slow. A lead fills out a form, or you have had a meeting with the lead, and by the time you have to actually follow up, the moment is gone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a fully automated lead nurturing workflow using n8n. So the right message goes out to the right lead at the right time without anyone even lifting a finger. So let's quickly move into it. Now on n8n, what we have done is we have created 4 workflows as per different use cases. The very first use case is wherein, say for example, we want to check how engaged a particular lead is, and on that basis we want to have a nurturing action taken place. So what we have is every day a daily engagement check happens on all the leads that we have on our CRM. In this case, we have taken HubSpot as our CRM. What happens over here is we extract all the data that we require right from, say, any particular date, what was the last engagement point, when was the first time we interacted with that particular lead. And once we have all of that data in place, what we do is we have a calculation done for the engagement score, wherein we are calculating based on, say, the email open rate and click rate over here. So if, say, the email has been opened by the prospect, then there is a certain score allocated to it. If it is clicked, then a certain score. And based on the notes that the SDR might put in, we have a different score given to it. And that gives us the engagement score. What we are even keeping a track of over here is the days since the last activity or the last touch point with that particular lead. Now, these 2 data points help us in terms of creating a routing logic as to how engaged is a lead. If, say, the score is greater than 20, then we consider it as highly engaged. If it is below that, anywhere between 14-15, then we consider it as moderate, and an action of re-engagement needs to take place. And if it is less than 5, then we consider it as a cold lead. So what we have done over here is, if it's a high intent or high engaged lead, we directly send a notification to the SDR saying that this is a high engaged lead, and this notification looks something like this. So as you can see, this is how the message goes out, that this is the email of that particular lead, this is the engagement score, and these are the days since the last activity, and what is the action that you need to take is follow up. Next up, that gets updated onto the CRM. And when we talk about the other routing level, then for the next one where re-engagement needs to happen, we send a simple email saying that, hey, it's been some time since we connected, and what do you want to connect at a particular timeline. So this sort of sparks another interest for a lead that might have the chance of going cold. And finally, we have those leads that have no interest or that have lost interest, marking them as cold leads on the CRM. The next workflow that we have is focused towards nurturing those who have already shown interest. So say if I have people who have shown interest, who have opened, clicked on my emails, and I want to do something for them to make them more engaged, and finally land up for a meeting. So what I'm doing over here is I'm fetching all those lead details, and I want to personally send them an email as per the industry or the use case that they are fitting to. So we are segmenting the entire data of leads on industry and deal size. So if I say, for example, want to send a specific email to tech companies, so this is what I can do, wherein I'm sharing, say, a specific case study and an ROI calculator with them. So this is how that particular mail will look like. Similarly, I can draft for other industries as well and send these emails as a nurturing email to them. So I'm automating that entire nurturing sequence over here. And finally, what we are doing is that after 3 days, we are again sending a follow-up on that nurturing email itself. So this way, we are able to complete a entire loop of the nurturing sequence for those leads that are interested. Next, say for example, we have sent the emails, or we are running an email campaign, and we start getting in inbound replies. What do we do in that case? So what we have created over here is a workflow that understands the intent of those replies, classifies them, and based on that takes certain action. So what we are doing over here is we have an AI agent that classifies the emails as either interested, that is those people who might want to have a meeting, who might have questions, or who directly ask for a meeting. Then there are those people who might say that this is not a right time. So we have to categorize that as not now, who might be interested, but the timing is not right. Then we have the not relevant or not interested category, wherein anyone who says unsubscribe or I am not interested, that get classified into this. Finally, what we have also asked it to do is provide a confidence score and a reasoning to it. So once that is done, we have another routing that takes place, wherein for any high intent or a lead that is interested, a direct notification gets sent to the salesperson, and that gets updated onto the CRM as an interested lead. Further, for those people who are not now or not relevant category, for them also the direct CRM updates get done and an automatic reply goes out to them acknowledging their reply. So this way an end-to-end loop is completed for those replies that we are getting inbound. And finally, we have our final workflow, which is combining both our inbound triggers as well as the outbound activity that gets done and any other inquiry that comes in for scheduling a meeting through, say, any calendar or Calendly link. So these are the three sources that we have connected to have our input in place. Once this comes in, what we are doing is we are normalizing that data and structuring it in the right format and removing duplicates. So say for example, there is a lead that is already there on my CRM, but the person has booked the meeting through a Calendly link or through a calendar link. Now what happens is instead of creating another entry, it gets merged into that entry. And for that very lead, we are checking what was the last touch point. Finally, after understanding the last touch point, we understand whether the person wants to schedule a meeting or not. So in case if say for example, we check that if there is a meeting already scheduled with that lead, then what we do is we are sending a meeting reminder and that activity gets logged onto the CRM. In case if the meeting doesn't get scheduled, then we are sending a follow-up message that says that, hey, would you be interested in scheduling the meeting? Or thank you for so much for showing your interest. And we could schedule a meeting at this particular time and date. So this is how we can send an email across to follow up for that. And eventually we have again a sequence over here wherein we wait for 24 hours for a response. In case if a response comes in, then a notification gets sent. In case if a response doesn't come in, what we are doing over here is we are sending a follow-up to it. And finally moving that lead to the nurturing bucket. So this is how for different stages of nurturing, we have been able to create different workflows on n8n to end-to-end mark all of those activities as well. So this was about it. This was about how you can fully automate lead nurturing using n8n with no coding required, and how you can enrich, segment emails, follow-ups, and log everything onto the CRM as an autopilot. And if you find this interesting, please do like and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. And thank you so much for watching this.